This is the worst product that Sony's put out. I bought this and I really wish I hadn't. And it's not for the reasons you might think. Like the whole idea of this tiny little mic system, having this tiny little receiver, plug it in directly into your hot shoe, and then it's on your camera, and that's it. That's all you have for a receiver. That's great. I like that. And it's not because the audio quality is bad. So this is what the audio quality sounds like. It's actually really good. And one of my favorite features about these tiny little mics that Sony's been putting out is they have these great auto gain features that basically you almost don't have to worry about setting the gain anymore, because it keeps the mic from clipping, but it also makes sure it's not too quiet. It keeps the levels exactly where they need to be. And that's why I have loved using the tiny little ECM-w3 or B10 or whatever that is. So that really isn't the issue. The audio quality on these little mics is great. The issue is when it comes to range. There's no issue when I'm recording something like this really close to the camera. It's not a big deal. If you've got a direct line of sight, it's not bad, except for I have run into issues occasionally where the signal will drop out, even though I've only been about 5, 6, 7 feet away from the camera. And then also you should receive a cloth like this with your Skydio drone. Each of the cameras a real quick once over. Now I did a range test where direct line of sight like this, you could actually go quite a ways. So this is the Sony ECM-w3, and I'm gonna start walking down. I've marked off 100-foot increments all the way down, and this on paper has the least amount of range out of all of them. But I'm curious to see exactly how well the range does. Now I'm at 300 feet, and again, there's nothing between me and the camera, just this. There's no other Wi-Fi out here, so we should be getting the max amount of range possible. So basically, after giving up hope that this system could work for anything, because after I've had it ruin multiple videos where the audio should have worked perfect, and really the only case where I can see that the audio works well with this, or where it doesn't drop signal, is when it's directly here and the camera is like handheld like this. So if all you do is run around and vlog, then this system probably worked great for you. And just when I thought all hope was lost, DJI comes and announces their adapter for the DJI Mic 2 and the Sony hot shoe system. The only problem there was I don't have a DJI Mic 2, so I bought a DJI Mic 2 and the hot shoe adapter to test it. So now that DJI has a hot shoe mount for theirs and it goes direct into the camera digitally, it basically fixes all of the problems. But with the DJI system, even if you do lose signal, you always have the 32-bit internal recording backup. Sound quality is decent. Actually, I think the sound quality going digitally is much better. It's even better than just straight out of the system going into a camera with a cable. So this is the DJI mic system plugged straight into the camera using the headphone or the 3.5mm audio cable. So this is the DJI Mic 2 quality with the digital input. To me, it sounds cleaner, clearer, as it should, because you're losing that whole extra step of going digital to analog and then back from analog to digital as it goes from the mic system into the camera. Now the system works great, but I also wanted to test it with my FX6 because this is the camera I do tons of corporate work with, lots of sit-down interviews, long-form stuff, and it works. The great thing about the FX6 is you can route the audio a bunch of different ways, and with the DJI Mic 2 system, you can split it up into stereo, so if you have two Mic 2s, you can have one on channel 1, one on channel 2, or in the case of the FX6, like channel 3 or channel 4, route the audio any way you want, so it will send the tracks in individually, which means you get clean audio even if you're interviewing two different people or having two different people talk to camera, so you can adjust all the levels in post. Making this video might mean that I'll probably never work with Sony, but that doesn't really matter because I don't want you to waste $469 when for $349 plus $59 for the adapter, you can get the whole DJI Mic 2 system plus the adapter. You're still saving basically 60, 70 bucks. Hey, if you're enjoying or getting value out of this video, then consider subscribing. My goal is to help other solo creators like myself make good decisions when it comes to purchasing gear, and then also teach you the skills you need to use the gear that you already own so that you can tell great stories. I really just don't want you to lose your audio because I can't tell you the number of times I've gone out and recorded entire videos with this after hiking for several miles and then come back to review the footage just to find out that I don't have any good audio because this system cut out at random points or had weird interference issues or whatever. So a couple of things to note is just like these Sony mics, when you plug them in, you lose all control of the audio here. And while you using or changing your output controls on the DJI mic doesn't actually change the output because it's going straight digitally, you can control the gain of the mic and set your levels properly there. So I find that 0 and 0 works great across the board. And I tested a bunch of different lapels, and pretty much if you get any standard wired 1/8 inch jack lapel, it'll work. The ones that don't work are these, the Shure MVL, which are the ones that I recommended for the DJI Mic 1 system. The DJI Mic 2, these don't work with it, but this is the DD-WLAV Micro, and I tested the WLAV Pro. And don't tell Rode I did this, but I tested it with the Rode Lav Pro that comes with the Rode Wireless Pro, and that works great too. Now, a couple of other things you need to be aware of is that while the DJI Mic 2 receiver will charge from the camera while the camera's on, it won't power off or on with the camera. So the system will basically be on regardless of what the camera is doing, but it will give you nice warnings and notifications if it's not connected to the camera properly or if the camera's not on. Initially, I gotta be honest, I wasn't super excited about the DJI Mic 2, but now that they've included this system, I think it makes it a fantastic buy, especially if you film on later Sony bodies that are compatible with the digital hot shoe. Not to mention the fact that if you're like me and you work outdoors a lot, then having any of the ports open in your camera, maybe not the best idea, considering snow, water, anything in there could definitely cause some issues with your electronics. And the fact that having the hot shoe or the digital hot shoe interface covered and connected like this with these little mics here, that it keeps that protected as well. So it gives you a little bit better degree of protection. Plus, you just get good audio. Now that I've spent about $800 of my own money on these two systems, I mean, this one is the one to buy. I don't know what to do with this one now. I guess if somebody wants it, I'll put it on Gear Focus for a couple $100. You can comment below and let me know if you're interested. I'll post it up there, and if somebody wants it, you can get it for a couple $100. I think it probably is worth that. It's not worth $469. Sony, if you want to improve this, you got to put internal recording on the next version of this system. And like everything else, there are links to the mic adapter and the DJI Mic 2 system in the description of this video. Next, you're going to want to watch this video right here. I'll see you over there. As always, if you have questions, ask me in the comments below, or join my live stream, which happens most Wednesday nights at 4 p.m. Alaska time, 8 p.m. Eastern. We can have more of a conversation, maybe answer questions I didn't get to in this video. I'll see you again soon in the next one. Cheers.